Do you ever feel as though you are obsessing over your twin flame or over your twin flame connection more generally? Obsession is one facet of the twin flame connection that nearly every twin flame experiences at one point or another. Specifically, this tends to happen most profoundly to the so-called twin flame chaser, which often begins as the divine feminine, although again, not always. While twin flame obsession may be most commonly associated with the chaser in the connection, the interesting thing is both parties are actually feeling this obsessive sensation equally. However, typically one twin flame counterpart is awakening first, is more energetically sensitive, and as a result of these energetic sensitivities, they are capable of feeling and recognizing this twin flame connection initially in a more powerful way than the so-called less awakened twin. So if you are currently experiencing or have ever experienced twin flame obsessive thoughts, obsessive feelings, I hope this video provides you with some sense of relief, knowing that you are not alone in feeling this way. That's truly what I want you to understand and what I want you to take away from every single one of my videos is that what you are experiencing is a very powerful and intense energy. And the seemingly unexplainable or even illogical signs and symptoms, including these obsessive feelings, aren't some negative reflection on you. And whenever we feel that way, that's really just either us negatively self-judging or us leaving ourselves open to these negative judgments of others that are all often based in the ego and not in the soul. But before I get into these twin flame obsessive thoughts and feelings, I want to share with you a powerful tool I've used in my own life to help me process within my own twin flame connection and in all areas of my life these kinds of energetic shifts that emerge, because within the twin flame connection, when we talk about obsession or any other strange twin flame sign or symptom, we're talking about our energy body trying to process these massive influxes of energy coming from our twin flame. Energy can come to us from many different directions, inside and outside the twin flame connection. But if you identify as a twin flame, finding a tool to process and integrate these energies is going to be immensely helpful for you in not only being able to function better within this influx of energy, this tsunami of energy, but also in harmonizing and balancing within in order to come into a harmonious union with your twin flame. I have created on my website, Sound and Soulful, a library of over 100 subliminal affirmations tracks for all areas of life. These are meditation tools designed for this form of energy integrating, clearing, and grounding. The reason that subliminals are so effective for this deep level energy work is because they address the subconscious mind, which truly consists of 95% of our thoughts, actions, and outcomes in life. This is what is creating, is radiating most of our energy field. It's mostly coming from whatever thoughts and habits of thinking are deeply rooted within the subconscious. Many of these thoughts actually come from early childhood patterns or wounds and continue to be replayed there, negatively affecting our energy field for years to come unconsciously. And that's the key, because these are the parts of our energy that have been damaged, these negative subconscious thought habits that are negatively impacting us, both within and outside of the twin flame relationship, that we are completely unaware of, because again, they are so deeply rooted and unconscious. Specifically for twin flames, I have created a 7-chakra twin flame clearing subliminal. This is a meditation tool designed to clear away any blockages you may be storing energetically within any of the 7 chakras. And this subliminal specifically addresses those blockages that prevent harmonious balancing of the divine masculine and divine feminine energies within, and ultimately your harmonious physical 3D union with your twin flame. So what you are looking at now on the screen is just showing you some of the subliminals I have available and how to go about navigating my site. You can try out this twin flame subliminal as well as any of the over 100 subliminals on my website completely free for 7 days when you create a trial account on my website. So the link to this twin flame clearing subliminal is in the pinned comment of this video and in the description box. So let's dive right back into this twin flame obsession. Twin flame obsessive thoughts and feelings could be best explained by saying that they are a result of our ego, our logic, trying to make sense of what our soul knows to be true. And let me elaborate a little bit on what I mean by that. Oftentimes, these obsessive thoughts and feelings begin after meeting our twin flame in the 3D world. So what happens is, through this meeting, we come face to face with this person, this physical shell of a person that houses an identical soul frequency to ours. We look into this person's eyes, and just as it is commonly said that the eyes are the window to the soul, within their eyes, we see our own soul reflected back to us, authentically, truly, purely, and vulnerably. And we know in that instant that they are seeing us in the same way, because we can read it in their eyes and on their face. We know that this connection runs both ways. And what happens during this initial meeting, I often talk about this massive energetic exchange that takes place between twin flames, especially when they are within each other's auric field, which extends 6 feet beyond the physical human body, what we know as the physical body. When their auras touch, and especially when their physical bodies touch, even if it is the lightest brush of the fingers, in this energetic merge in the physical, you receive what could be called some kind of energetic download. And within this download, you are inundated with every thought, feeling, experience that your twin flame has ever had within this lifetime. Essentially, you are catching each other up to speed with what you've done, what you've learned, what you've experienced so far. It's like an accelerated soul learning for the purpose of course, accelerated soul evolution. During this time, all of this is taking place again through the subconscious, through the unconscious mind, through the energy body. So your conscious mind isn't aware immediately of all of these specific memories. You may receive them in flashes, and this is where that obsession really first starts to take hold, because it can be incredibly confusing when you meet someone. You experience this energetic download from one another, and unconsciously, you know everything about this person, but consciously, you're only getting information in snippets and flashes, and you're not even sure if these flashes are your imagination or if they're true. you're not even sure whether you're going crazy, whether you're just making stuff up about this person, or whether you're actually receiving real information about them because you have no immediate confirmation of the truth of these flashes of insight. So this is where the ego goes crazy, because the ego lives in the present moment and it likes to be immediately validated with evidence of what it knows. It doesn't understand the soul's intuition. It doesn't understand that we can, through our intuition, it's often said that intuition is knowing what you cannot know. The ego cannot grasp the existence of this soul knowing, that you can know someone in your soul, in your heart and soul, and to the very core of your being, without consciously knowing everything about them. So naturally, your ego wants to validate what you unconsciously know. It's kind of like a very extreme version of when you meet someone that you've actually met before and you know that you've heard them say their name to you, but we say as a figure of speech that it's on the tip of our tongue. And it's so frustrating to get this feeling because you know you've met this person, you know that you've heard them introduce themselves, but you can't remember their name. Now imagine this to the maximum extreme with twin flames. You've known this person in lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. You're getting these powerful feelings of déjà vu. And before coming into this lifetime, your souls predestined the circumstances of your meeting. Before you were born into this body, your soul was given the name, the appearance, the likeness of your twin flame in this life. It was ingrained into your very soul DNA for the purpose of when you met your twin flame, you would have this feeling of déjà vu, this stirring within your soul, a slight reawakening to your soul's amnesia, and you would remember that you know everything about this person, that this is your person, that you are destined to meet in this lifetime. But again, it's like that extreme feeling of having someone's name on the tip of your tongue. You have everything about your twin flame within your unconscious mind, within your soul, within your energy, but you just can't consciously access it. And there is a divine purpose for this. There is a divine reason you are only given snippets of your twin flame in flashes. These aren't just random, coincidental pieces of information. You are receiving these insights at the perfect moments in time for the purpose of deepening your connection with them through this information. But your higher self and the divine forces know that if you received every piece of information at once about your twin flame, it would not only overwhelm you, but it would actually probably scare you. It may even cause you to run away. So that is why I often say this path is very divinely protected. You will receive what you are meant to know when you are meant to receive it or to know it. But this, again, drives the ego crazy. The ego wants to know everything in this very moment. It is the king of instant gratification, especially when it comes to knowledge. Knowledge stored within the conscious mind, those concrete facts we can know and understand. This leads to obsession because you meet this person, again, this déjà vu, this soul download, this reawakening of your soul's amnesia, this coming face to face with your identical soul frequency, and your ego, oftentimes after this meeting, maybe minutes after meeting, maybe days, maybe months, it continues to turn this person over in its logical mind and think, I know this person from somewhere. I have to find out everything I can about this person. I have to know everything I can about where this person grew up, what their family's like, what they are like, what job do they work, who are they in this lifetime. Again, your soul knows the answer to all of these questions, but your ego wants that external validation so desperately that it turns into these obsessive thoughts and tendencies. Because from an external perspective, if you looked at someone who was trying to figure everything out about a person, desperate to know their life story, to know about their family, to know about their friends, to know about their job, that person would look absolutely crazy, obsessive, even like a stalker. So oftentimes twin flames are also mislabeled this way because from an external perspective, if you haven't experienced this kind of incredibly deep, in fact, the deepest soul level connection with another soul, encountered in a different physical body in this lifetime, you cannot understand and would easily mislabel the external manifestations of this fight between the ego and the soul. But the cause of the obsession doesn't just start there. This is really only one piece of it, and why the obsession is often so pervasive and so frequently happens to twin flames is that it has many different facets, many different sides. It's multidimensional and results from many different energetic experiences we are having simultaneously. So yes, a big piece of this obsession comes from everything I've just explained, but it also runs deeper than that. It comes from feeling our twin flames' presence with us all the time, even when, and sometimes especially when, they aren't there. If you've met your twin flame, you most likely experienced this initial fascination with them because of everything I just mentioned earlier. Your soul remembering them, knowing them on a deep level, your ego trying to come to terms with how you can know so much about a person in your soul without knowing the facts about them, without knowing the concrete realities of who they are. But beyond that, if you manage to clear away all of these questions, this fascination about this person that you felt initially, that's not enough to veer off these obsessive feelings, because after that initial meeting, because of this soul merge, especially that intensifies within the first physical meeting, which I'm going to post another video today just on the soul merge. But after your souls merge and your connection deepens and intensifies energetically in this way, you will be able to energetically feel your twin flame's presence with you in a way you never did prior to meeting in the physical world. Prior to this physical meeting, we often feel our twin flame's energetic presence in flashes, usually at divine times, at the times when we feel the most alone or afraid or overwhelmed. Our twin flame may come in energy form on a higher self level to comfort us at those times. But again, this happens normally in very brief instances prior to the physical meeting. When we meet physically, all of this intensifies. It gets taken to the next level. So this is the point at which we are sometimes able to consciously, telepathically communicate with our twin flame. So we may hear their voice in our mind, imagine what they are thinking or doing in that moment. And I say the word imagine because that is how our ego perceives it. They think that we're making it up, that we are imagining it. But what's actually happening is we are energetically bonded so much with this other soul to the extent that we are sharing experiences in real time. We are able to telepathically, psychically glimpse into their thoughts, feelings, emotions, and even physical experiences in that moment. We are exchanging energy at every moment at a very high rate of frequency. So naturally, the more that we experience these strange telepathic signs, these strange body sensations that come out of nowhere, this makes our ego even crazier because once again, it's trying to explain these symptoms with logic. It's trying to understand them. And often it is that ego self that actually, in part, leads us to obsessively think about our twin flame, research about our twin flame, try to find more information about them or this connection. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, because I actually think that this obsessive aspect to the twin flame journey is essential in some ways. I don't think it's an entirely negative thing the way that it is mislabeled by others. This obsession is in part a divine piece of the connection. We are meant to be fascinated with one another when we meet. This is the person that shares our identical soul frequency, and because of this, every cell in our being, again, under the law of attraction, like attracts like, and we are not only alike, we are identical on a soul level. So naturally, every cell of our being is pulled like gravity into the orbit of this other person, and they are feeling the same. And that is the divine intention. We were meant to feel this pull to this other person. Nothing is going wrong when we feel strongly pulled to this person, strongly fascinated by this person. It was built into our very soul DNA. We created a soul contract with this person that we would meet, that we would recognize one another, that we would become fascinated with one another, and that as a result of this fascination, we wouldn't be able to escape one another's presence. We would be so fascinated that we would come closer and closer together. And yes, at times we would be afraid. We would be terrified. One of us or both of us may even run. But because of this so-called obsession, this deep fascination, this pull to one another, we would always come back to one another over and over again, until finally we were capable of fully balancing the energies within, and then coming into an external balance, powerfully combining our energies and sharing this brilliant, beautiful, unconditionally loving relationship that shines so brightly. It radiates outward to our entire family, to our entire soul family, to our community, and even to the entire planet. We are elevating human consciousness through the bringing together of this connection. So the next time you find yourself about to label something you're thinking or doing as an obsession, remember that this in itself is a negative self-judgment. Yes, some of this may be driven by the ego's need to know. And we should always be striving to lean into that space of trust, of inner knowing, of intuition. But at the same time, you must also understand there is no need to negatively judge or label yourself for the ways in which you are processing a huge amount of energy from this person through this connection. And never underestimate the powerful energy work you are doing through this processing, not only upon yourself and by working upon yourself, upon your twin flame, but upon all of human consciousness. You are literally elevating planetary consciousness by learning to show yourself and your twin flame this pure, unconditional love that we are all relearning as twin flames on this journey. So I hope this podcast was helpful for you. And not only further understanding these obsessive tendencies regarding your twin flame, if you've ever had them or have experienced them in the past, but also in releasing some of those negative self-judgments regarding these tendencies, understanding that the ego and that society's ego more broadly has largely mislabeled this energetic sensation that only twin flames experience and can fully understand. Thank you so much for joining me here in this podcast. We are building such a beautiful community of souls here on YouTube, conscious, creative beings stepping into our highest soul purpose and elevating the entire planet as a result. If I resonated with you, please subscribe to this channel, join our community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you again in the next podcast.